Hi, Susie, and welcome to Entrepreneurcast. It's such a great pleasure to have you with us today.
Oh, thank you for having me. It's a real honor to be here. Thank you.
So, Susie, before we get started with the business side of things, tell us a little bit about who are you outside of your business and what do you enjoy doing in your spare time?
So, outside of my business, I'm also a mum. I have a little boy who is 4.5, and he keeps me very busy. So, he's up very early in the morning, constantly wanting to play with his trains, and he's very active, keeps me very busy. Away from being a mum, I absolutely love going to the gym. So, I'm a real gym bunny. That's like my way of de-stressing. And it's also the one place where I don't have my phone, so I can't be tempted to actually look at emails and things. So yeah, I just love anything where I'm outside in the fresh air or doing a bit of exercise. Yeah, so a bit of a gym bunny, bit of a mum as well in there.
Brilliant. Do you have any specific favorite exercise?
I mean, I'm doing a couple of like circuits classes at the moment, but mainly I quite like the actual gym. So every 4 weeks, I see a personal trainer who will adjust my program for me, and they'll target specific parts of the body that I may want to tone up. And I always try and ensure they keep it quite short and intense because I don't have a huge amount of time.
Mm.
I prefer to go in the gym for half an hour and do like a really intense burst of exercise, and then I've got the rest of the day free.
Mm.
So yeah, I'd say the actual gym I'm a fan of, really. Yeah.
So, what about your business? What's your business about, and what inspired you to start it in the first place?
So my business is called Styled by Susie. I'm a personal stylist. That means that I empower women to dress for their body shape and their colouring. I want to make them feel good about the shape and the body that they're in. I never believe that women should have to have a goal of losing weight to feel good about themselves or achieve a certain number on scales to feel good about themselves. So that's kind of what I do. I take ladies shopping, give them some style advice as to how to look their best. I suppose I was inspired by I grew up in the 90s. So I was born in the 80s, grew up in the 90s, and I grew up with films like Clueless, where these films where girls were having makeovers, and I used to love the idea of having a makeover and feeling amazing about yourself. And in the 90s as well, you had a program called Trini and Susanna, who were stylists, and they would take ladies out on the high street and show them how to dress. Then there was another stylist called Gok Wan. And I used to watch these programs and I used to think, that can't be possible that you can take someone shopping and the next day they feel completely different. That just can't. How can that transformation happen overnight? So when I started to do the styling course, that was kind of the idea that I had in mind, was offering my service to women of all ages, different sizes, different lifestyles. And since I've been doing that, I've realized that that transformation can happen within an hour. So it can be really quick. It's just about giving them the right tools to know how to look their best and feel their best.
So, would you say that's all about the confidence? Like, once they transform the way they look, they just become more confident?
Absolutely. I think I mean, the nice thing is that when I meet my clients, that's the first time I'm ever seeing her. So a lot of my clients have had children, and they can be grieving for the body shape that they had 5, 10 years ago. I'm meeting them as they are now, so I'm seeing how their shape is now, and I immediately find something amazing about them. I can look at any woman in the street and I can say, gosh, she's got amazing legs or arms or shoulders. And I think the key is that I can kind of show them how amazing they look, and things that they have been worrying about, they don't like their arms or their back, they're not actually visible to anyone else. You don't kind of go around honing in on people's bad parts of their bodies. So I tend to concentrate only on the good. And I think the more positively you can get a client to look at herself. So For example, I could say to a client, okay, so, you know, you got hips, you got a bum, bit like me, bit of a pear shape. Let's keep the focus away from there, and let's keep it on the top half. You've got great shoulders, you've got great arms. Let's show off the neckline. And by doing that, you're not actually changing their shape, but you're getting them to show off their best bits. And I think that then gives them that confidence that they do have a great body shape. And it's that, I think it's the acceptance really of that that gives them confidence.
So Susie, since we've connected and I started looking at your posts and stuff, I've noticed you're a pretty busy woman.
Yeah, I know.
What would you say your day-to-day life looks like?
Okay. My day-to-day life is crazy because as well as a stylist, I am a mum, and that life is just as crazy. So my day starts at 5 a.m. with my son shouting through the walls saying, "Mummy, my son hasn't come up on my grow clock." And from that moment, my morning starts. So I usually have about a 15-minute window to get myself looking from a tired mummy to a stylist, because usually I'll have to go straight from the school run to a client. So my day is absolutely busy. So I've got the school run in the morning. I have a 15-minute window to do my makeup, my hair, my outfit, get him to school. And the minute I've dropped him off at school, I have about an hour's car journey to the shopping centre. And from there, I would usually meet a client for a coffee. So I'd always go to my favourite place, which is Joe and the Juice. They do the best coffee and they're really friendly as well. So meet my client there, have a coffee for about 15 minutes. And it's really a chance to put them at ease. Because when I go shopping, I'm not nervous because I know what to expect by now. But when my clients come shopping with me, that's an experience that they've never had before, and it's very nerve-wracking for them. A lot of my clients haven't actually met me prior to the shopping date, so they're very nervous. So the pre-shop coffee is my opportunity to say, how was your journey here, and what you're looking for today. Just have a bit of small talk, a bit of a chat, tell them what to expect as well. And that 15 minutes really puts them at ease and hopefully gets them to kind of trust me, which is very important. And from there, we have about a 3-hour shopping trip. And in those 3 hours, we walk around the shops together. So if you saw me out and about, you wouldn't realise I was a personal shopper. We would just look like two friends out on a shopping trip together. I'm carrying loads of clothes. I pick up lots of things in different sizes. And then we go and try them on. And we do, say, 4 shops in a 3-hour shopping trip because we try on a lot of clothes. And then I'd leave my client, grab a quick bite to eat, head back to school to pick up my son, head back home again. And once he's bathed and in bed, I'll either hit the gym if I've got some quiet time, or I'll tend to sit in the office in my house and I'll catch up on inquiries and online sessions as well. So it's pretty full on. I think it's a bit of a military operation, but I think I'm quite used to that way of life now. I think the days when I actually have time off, I sit there thinking, I don't know what to do with myself. I feel like I should be busy, It's quite weird when I do stop.
Well, that's very important because you obviously enjoy what you do, and that's why you have incredible reviews, and that's why you're full on like that. You have so many clients because you love it.
Yeah,
Was very
definitely. I'm
important.
very, very passionate about it, and I put so much of myself into it. I put emotions into it. I put love into it, and I think the emotional energy it takes would probably surprise a lot of people, because I think I have a lot of people that say to me, your job isn't stressful, you just go shopping, you just hit the shops for a few hours, that's not very hard. But I'm so passionate that I want my client to leave me, whether it's a shopping trip or a style session, I want her to feel different. I want her to feel happy. Obviously, I can't solve everything in everyone's life, but I want her to feel good. And I think I put so much of myself into that yeah, it's quite intense, but I'm still very passionate about it 4 years later.
So, Susie, throughout our business or entrepreneurial journey, we come through a lot of challenges. What would you say was your greatest challenge, and how did you manage to overcome it?
I've had a couple of challenges really. Every year of my business has been very different for different reasons. And I think fortunately the longer I'm in business, the more confident I've become with overcoming challenges, and things don't knock me as much as they used to. There was, I'd probably say, my second year of business, I had a bit of trouble with, as you would say, trolling, a bit of online trolling on Facebook, which was quite difficult because I was quite new to business then. And I think if that happened now, I'd have a bit more confidence to handle it. But that was a bit of a challenge for me. But I learned quite a lot about how to just ignore it, and eventually it went away, which was really good. I would actually say, funnily enough, the biggest challenge for me is taking care of myself as an entrepreneur. I think as an entrepreneur, particularly a working mum as well, I'm always last on the list, and I think it's very easy to find excuses not to look after yourself. And I think I've had a couple of times where I've actually, my body has burnt out. I came down with pneumonia about 18 months ago. I was really, really poorly, and that came at the end of a really busy time for me. And it was a really good opportunity for me to think, I can't actually carry on at this pace. I'm not a superwoman. And I think that the challenge for me is trying to evaluate, when is it getting too much for me. At the moment, I've made quite a big step at the moment, because I've actually started training up another stylist, and I've also started to look at taking someone on to help me with my admin. And I'd say for me, they are big challenges because I find it really difficult asking for help. I'm the kind of person that's like, no, I'm fine, I can do it all. And I think I got to a point recently where I thought, actually, I do need some help. And if I ask for that help, it means I can be more productive with my time. So I'd say that's actually been a big challenge for me, is actually accepting help and looking for help, and actually feeling such a relief now I've done it, that I think, God, I should have done it ages ago. So I think for me, that's a big challenge. Yeah, asking for help. That's my challenge.
But you get in there now.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, so I'm going to have some help soon, and that's already making me feel much better. And I feel like, yeah, that's been a really big challenge, and one that I've been fighting for a while. And I think that's something quite big in business, where you think you can do it all, and eventually you realize that you can't, and you do need some help.
I think a lot of us have that. That's why a lot of business owners struggle to delegate, because we already
Yes.
know what we do, and we get a bit worried that, by passing this on to someone else, they're going to do something wrong or ruin our whole business,
No.
our whole career in one day.
Oh,
And
completely.
delegation is, yeah, it's the key to the business, but it's just so hard as a business owner to accept, passing it on.
Yeah, it's so hard, and it's hard knowing when to do that. And I've had years of people saying to me, no, you should employ someone, you should get someone on board. And I thought, but I don't think I could trust anyone enough. This is my baby. I've grown this from something that was so small. My son was, he was 9 months old when I started my business, and I've grown it into something huge, and I've done it all on my own. And that the fear of, as you say, what if I give this to someone and they do it wrong, and I think sometimes you just have to take that leap of faith.
Mm.
And I think I've learned recently to trust my instincts and trust my gut feeling about things, because usually I'm right.
So, on the bright side of things,
Yeah.
what would you say was your biggest success in your business and in life?
Oh, I like the positives in life. Oh gosh, obviously having my son, that's, in my personal life, that's huge. He was very ill as a baby for the first year. I had a really tough time. suffered from postnatal depression, and to see him now as a 4-year-old with friends at school is the best feeling. So in my personal life, that's my biggest accomplishment. In my business life, I'd say there's been a couple of things really. I'd say one of them was a few years ago, I styled a lady called Catherine Henry, who was a plus size model for a beauty pageant. And there was one outfit that I was quite persistent about it. I'm never pushy, never pushy, but I'm persistent. And there was an outfit that I just knew would look absolutely amazing on her. It was a jumpsuit, and she wasn't 100%. And I said to her, "Look, it looks absolutely amazing on you. You know, let's go with it." And the best moment was when she actually won. First of all, she won the beauty pageant, but she also won an award for fashion. So she was basically the best dressed of the award ceremony. So that for me was amazing, because I thought, wow, that's actually showing that my choices were recognised. Also, I tell you what my favourite one was. My oldest client is 86 years old.
Nice.
And I met her about 18 months ago, and after meeting her, she went and bought her first pair of jeans and her first pair of trainers. And when I got this photo through from her daughter, she looked absolutely amazing. And to think that I, could make a difference. I mean, I've got clients from, say, ranging from 16 years old to 86 years old. And I think that was a really big achievement for me. I was thinking, that's so amazing that I can help someone in their 80s feel good and buy their first pair of jeans. So I think that was probably my biggest achievement. But to be honest, I think all of my clients, I feel proud of. I feel proud of all of my clients. I genuinely care about them. I love hearing how their families are and how they're doing, and hearing how they're doing with their style. I think that for me is an accomplishment. Just seeing how they're doing and seeing their progress and their confidence. That for me is confirmation that I'm doing a good job. So nothing major, but just generally knowing that I'm doing some good. That's a big thing for me. Yeah.
Susie, just for fun, I like to find out where do you come up with your best ideas?
When I'm in the car, actually, my car journeys, I would say, are the equivalent of a really good meditation session, because I have an hour car journey from dropping my son at school to going to the shopping centre, and I put on some really loud music. So depending on what mood I'm in, sometimes it's Marilyn Manson, sometimes it's Green Day, sometimes it's something really cheesy like the Spice Girls. So when I'm on my car journey, I listen to some really loud music, and that's when I think I just start thinking about maybe a client that I saw yesterday, or I start thinking about something that I read in the news, something that will just trigger a thought process where I'll think, oh, that would make a really good post for Facebook later.
Mm.
Or after my shopping trip, I'm going to pop into Zara and I'm going to try on this piece of clothing to show what body shape it suits. So I find my car journeys are really therapeutic, because it's the one time that I obviously can't be on my phone looking at emails, because I think that's such a distraction when you're at home on your phone and you've got emails coming through and the phone's ringing and there's always something to do at home. But I think in the car, that's the time that I can really properly think, and I kind of go into my brain a bit. So I'd say that's where I get my best ideas, is on my nice long car journeys. It's like therapy.
You know, Susie, during the entrepreneurial journey and business journey, and I think during the lifetime generally, we do come across people who inspire us. Do you have any personal heroes or people that inspire you, and who are they?
Well, I mean, my family, I'm such a home bird, really. I come from one of three sisters, and I'm the youngest of three sisters. And growing up, my two sisters were just amazing. would practice everything on me. So if they wanted to, you know, Susie, I want to highlight your hair. So I'd be like, okay. Susie, I want to put lipstick on you. I was a bit like a, you know, a bit of a practice. And just seeing them and how they were experimenting with their style growing up, I found them really inspiring as a teenager, an awkward teenager. You know, they were really grounding for me. And I'd say, I think I'm just inspired. I'm inspired on a daily basis. So for me, if I'm in London and I see someone walking down the street in a really cool outfit, my radar is constantly up. I'm thinking, wow, I would never have put that together. Or so creatively, I think I'm always inspired by, you know, women in general. And on a really sad note, when I was growing up, I was really inspired by the Spice Girls. I was a really awkward teenager, really hated school, really quiet at school as well. And the Spice Girls kind of came into my life at the best time. You know, they were confident and they all had their own personalities, and they were really inspiring to me. Just seeing that actually you could dress however you wanted and you could be confident and you didn't, you know, girl power and all of that. That was a really big moment for me growing up. But I think generally just on a visual basis, really just being out and about in shopping centres, looking at women and how they dress, reading magazines. I don't think I'd say there's one actual person that I'm inspired by, but I'd say I'm just inspired by women in general because we are amazing, obviously.
Of course.
Aren't we?
Definitely. Susie, I usually ask about top, like, because I'm trying to bring as much value as we can to entrepreneurs and business owners
Yeah.
listening. So I always ask about top 3 tips and strategies. But I guess as a stylist, I would probably ask you the styling top 3 tips and strategies for the listener today.
So my top 3 styling tips, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. So first things first, you've got to dress for you. If you see something really cool on your friend, it may not work on you. So my first tip is always look at your body shape, your colouring. Even if she's your best mate and you have the same taste in movies, the same taste in ice cream, same taste in wine, probably the likelihood of you looking good in the same outfit is quite slim. So I'd say always dress for you, your personality, your shape, your colouring, because no 2 people are the same. So you've got to be an individual. That's my number 1 piece of advice. Number 2, I would say always get a good bra fitting. So it amazes me how many women are wearing the wrong size bra. A lot of places you can walk in off the street and get an appointment there and then. It takes 10 minutes. And getting a well-fitting bra is the foundation for your outfit. It makes you feel more comfortable. It makes your top sit better. So a good bra fitting. And also accessorize. Now, as you can see, I'm wearing my nice statement necklace. Accessories I see as a bit of armor, a bit of personality. And you could be wearing the most plain top or dress in the world, and you add a scarf, you know, in a contrasting pattern, a statement necklace, and it's kind of like, this is my personality. You know, if I'm feeling like I need an extra bit of oomph that day, I'll go for a bigger necklace, you know. So I think always accessorize. Even if you're wearing a hoodie and a pair of tracksuit bottoms, put in a pair of earrings or some bright lippy, something that adds a bit of you to that outfit. So yeah, they're my top 3 tips. I've got lots more, but they're probably the 3 most important ones I can think of.
Thank you for that, Susie.
Oh, you're welcome.
And during your entrepreneurial journey, did you come across any resources that have helped you in any way to just run your business, not necessarily in the fashion way, but just in a business way?
I think I'm not massively techie, so I wouldn't have said there's anything in that way. But I'd say social media is the main one. I think if you're starting up a business, or if you're in business and you feel like things have come to a bit of a standstill or things are a bit slow, the more you can get out there on social media, the better. And I think always experiment with new social media platforms, because I started off on Facebook, and I'd say Facebook is where the hub of my business is. That's how and where it grew. I've got over 2,000 members on my Facebook page. But since then, I then joined Instagram and kind of grew. I've got about almost 1,000 likes on Instagram. Instagram's a bit of a strange one because it's very visual, and I don't think it suits all businesses. So I think if you're an accountant, for example, Instagram probably isn't going to be the best social media platform for you. But if you're an interior designer, or you're a cake maker or fashion, if it's something visual and creative, Instagram is amazing. And I think just constantly looking at the latest things that are coming out. So at the moment, I'm trying to get more on Twitter. Twitter, I never really got into. I always had an account on it. So I'm constantly pushing myself to try and get out there more and more and more and connect with more people. So I think, yeah, I'd say social media is the main one. And just constantly learning. The more you can, I don't think, even if you're the world's expert in your particular field, you can always learn more. Books, magazines, just talking to people, networking. I think resources for me aren't so much, they're not like on a techie level, but for me, it's just learning. It's meeting people, interacting with people. You can never learn too much, in my opinion. So I'd say that's my little way.
So, out of social media platforms, which one would you say is your favorite?
Oh, that's difficult, because Facebook is like my baby. So Facebook, that's, I have such a soft spot for my Facebook page, because that's where it grew and that's where I've got so many members. And if I put something on there, there's a lot of interaction, which I love. And all the people on my Facebook page kind of chat to each other as well. But I actually really like Instagram because it's so visual. It's so creative, and actually I love getting ideas from there for myself. There's loads of bloggers on there that you can follow. I find that Instagram fulfills my creativity, but Facebook I love for the social side.
Mm.
If that makes sense.
Sure. So Susie, a lot of people I speak to, they say that at some point they came across a book that changed their life. Did you have such a book?
I'm always drawn to the same kind of books, which are ones where, there's always a bit of a hidden message. Like, The Alchemist is one of my favourites. I love. There's another one called The Shack. That's one that I absolutely love. Again, it kind of. I'm a big fan of Louise L. Hay as well. I think anything really positive, I'm a fan of. So I really believe in the power of what you put into the universe, you get back. Whether it's something you're asking for, whether it's something you want from your life, if you actually vocalize it and say, this is what I want from my life, this is what I want, this is what I want to do. Books like The Secret and The Power, that's very much my way of thinking. I think those books have really helped me kind of know how to put messages out into the universe, and I really believe that it works. But I think from a styling side of things, I really love Rachel Zoe. So Rachel Zoe is an American stylist. She had no kind of stylist training as such, so she was self-taught, which I love. She just had such a passion for style and such a passion for fashion. I love reading her book. So if I start to feel like I have a bit of a dip in creativity, I get to the end of a season, I'm starting to feel tired and a bit, I need a bit of inspiration, I'll always turn back to Rachel Zoe, her book, just to kind of get a bit of inspiration again. So again, I think I'm very dictated by my mood. So with music, books, it depends on what mood I'm in. But there are a few that I turn to. But I'd say The Secret is the main one. That's very in tune with how I think.
Susie, you obviously in the last 4 years you've grown to basically having clients all the time and having a lot of happy clients, and you're training new stuff, which is great. But
Yeah.
what is next for you? What's your next big goal or dream? Where are you going towards? And if there was someone in the audience listening today who could potentially help you get there, who would it be?
Oh my God, that is such an exciting thought that that could happen. I just I just have this feeling that this is going to just get bigger and bigger. And I never feel like I never quite feel like I'm finished, you know. I always feel like with each year something bigger happens. And I'd say a big goal of mine is to write a book. I'd like to write a book for women, almost like a body shape Bible, to say, this is your body shape, this is how you dress it, these are the shops that you go to, this is how you find out which body shape you are, because obviously a lot of ladies don't know, wouldn't know how, wouldn't know what shape they are. So I'd like to write a style book, really. That's a big goal of mine. And if I'm being completely honest, I'd love to be on TV. I would absolutely love to be on TV. So there's there's a lot of kind of guest stylists on morning TV who are celebrities for other reasons. And some of the style advice they give, I think, oh no, I'm not sure if that would actually work. So I think what's really missing at the moment is a style program like the old Trini and Susanna programs. So I'd say I always dream big, I aim big. So I'd say book or TV. That's where I'm aiming. So
Oh,
yeah,
better both.
that's my message to the universe.
That's great. Well, we are coming to a wrapping up session, but before we say our goodbyes, is there anything else you would like to advise or share something with us?
I think I would just really like to say that if you have a dream, you have to pursue it. It could seem really silly in your head. I remember telling family members or relatives years ago that I was going to start a business and told them what it was, and I wouldn't have said they laughed at it, but one of them actually said, that's not a thing. You know, that's never going to be a thing. And that could easily knock you. That could be enough for someone to say, oh, actually, yeah, that's maybe I shouldn't do that. But for me, I think the youngest child syndrome kicks in, and I sort of fight my way to the fight my way in. So I think I'd say if you've got a dream, if you've got a belief in something and you've got a passion, pursue it. Because if it's something that you believe in and it's something you feel passionate about, you'll do it. But I think don't listen to anyone, don't listen to negativity, put it out there in the universe, pursue it, believe in yourself, and just have that quiet voice in your head that just tells you to keep going, even when you're tired and you feel like it's not worth it, you're not making any money. It will pay off, but you've just got to believe. That's my message. That's how I'd like to end off, on positivity.
Thank you. That was beautiful.
Oh.
Susie, what's the best way for people to find you and connect with you?
Oh, I'm everywhere. So you can find me on Facebook. So Facebook, I'm just Style by Susie on Facebook. I do lots of video blogs on there, or vlogs as they're called now. So lots of tips on style. I'm on Instagram, and Instagram I am Style by Susie Hasler, and Twitter, Style by Susie. You can pretty much find me anywhere. I'm pretty easy to find. And my website is www.stylebysusie.co.uk.
Amazing. Well, thank you again for your time today. Thanks for coming on
Oh,
the show. It's been
thank
a great
you.
pleasure.
Oh, it's such an honour. It feels really self-indulgent talking about myself for so long. It's so weird. I'm not used to it.
Well, it's great to have you, and I hope I'll see you in person sometime soon.
Oh, I love that. Thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate your time.